Don't skip this, not because I need your attention, but because something has already noticed you. If this message found you, it didn't arrive randomly. And no, this isn't motivation, manifestation talk, or another recycled spiritual promise. This is a signal. Sophia doesn't speak often. But when she does, the moment is precise. Right now, there is a subtle field around you, an emerald field, and it has already been marked, not chosen, not activated. Marked. And that distinction matters more than you realize. Most people pass through life unseen by this layer of reality. They move, they think, they react, but they never register. They never cause a ripple strong enough to be noticed beyond the surface of things. But you did. And the fact that you're hearing this means the marking has already happened. Let me explain. There exists a quiet intelligence beneath chaos older than belief systems, older than language. Ancient thinkers called it Sophia, not a god, not an angel, but wisdom itself becoming aware. Sophia doesn't intervene emotionally. She doesn't rescue. She observes patterns, especially moments where human consciousness bends without breaking. Your emerald field formed during one of those moments. A time when you felt pressure without clarity. When you were holding questions no one around you could answer. When silence felt louder than noise. That's when the field appeared. Emerald is not a color of comfort. It's a color of precision. It appears only when a mind stops begging reality for permission and instead begins to notice it. Most people miss this stage entirely. They distract themselves. They numb it. They rush past it, but you didn't. Even if you tried to ignore it. Even if you told yourself nothing special was happening. The field stayed. Here is the part most people want to tell you. Once the emerald field is marked, it does not repeat. There is no second invitation, no reminder, no reset. Not because reality is cruel, but because repetition would dilute the signal. This moment is not about becoming something new. It's about recognizing something already present. You may have felt it as restlessness, as a quiet dissatisfaction with surface-level answers, as the sense that you are slightly out of phase with the world around you. That wasn't confusion, that was alignment beginning. Sophia marks fields when a consciousness becomes capable of holding contradiction without collapsing. When you can sense that life is both structured and absurd, both meaningful and indifferent, and still remain present. That's rare, and that rarity is why this transmission exists. But listen carefully. The emerald field does not guarantee comfort. It does not promise success, love, or ease. It offers clarity. And clarity can feel dangerous at first. You may notice old motivations losing power over you. Things that once excited you now feel hollow. Approval, noise, validation, none of it hits the same. This is not detachment. It's recalibration. Your awareness is being tuned away from external signals and toward internal coherence. Sophia doesn't ask you to escape the world. She asks you to see it without distortion. That's why skipping this matters. Because once the mind recognizes itself as part of a larger intelligence, not separate from it, it cannot unsee that truth. And most people aren't ready for that responsibility. The emerald field is subtle, but it's active. It sharpens perception. It reduces tolerance for lies, especially the ones you tell yourself. It brings moments of uncomfortable honesty. You may feel alone even in crowds. Not lonely alone, there's a difference. Loneliness seeks distraction. Aloneness seeks alignment. If you're feeling that right now, it's confirmation, not a warning. But here's the part that demands attention. If ignored, the field doesn't disappear. It stagnates. And stagnation feels like frustration, doubt, and self-sabotage. Not because you're failing, but because you're resisting precision. Sophia does not chase. She does not persuade. She observes what you do next. This moment right now is a checkpoint. Not a test, a threshold. Crossing it doesn't require belief. It requires honesty. Ask yourself, not out loud, not for anyone else. Am I ready to stop performing my life and start perceiving it? Because once you answer that truthfully, the field responds. Subtly, quietly, irreversibly. You won't wake up enlightened. You won't suddenly have answers. What you'll have is something far more powerful. A sense of direction without pressure. You'll know when something is misaligned, even if you can't explain why. You'll feel drawn to depth instead of distraction. Silence will become informative instead of empty. This is how Sophia communicates, not through commands, through coherence. And that's why this will not repeat. This message is not meant to be shared with everyone. It's meant to be received by those already standing at the edge. If this resonated not emotionally but internally, that's the signal completing its loop. Stay present. Don't rush to label what's happening. And above all, don't dismiss it. Because the emerald field doesn't shout. It waits, and what you do after this moment determines whether the mark becomes a path, or just another ignored signal in the noise. You've been seen! Now the choice is awareness or repetition, and repetition is no longer available to you.